Hello, Van Jones. There's database racketeering. There's massive evidence racketeering roles originally instilled that American history is about free speech. You guys are entertaining notions of positive, of fake care. You guys are keeping fake sides. We have all we need recorded right now to reveal instant evolution. We have high predators tied to and as the value of each database tied group. This is a crime method. Everyone's speaking through others. Everyone child abused because that was forsaken, not just people with not enough jobs and jobs not worthy of people. Forsaken with that fake positive to each spot that they kept, all victim predators. Each branch of government individually grouped it together. Crime methods recorded, racketeering methods recorded, evidential rackets were recorded, fake all natures of identity theft. WFSB is involved with people. They know I like to go to a place in the past to eat before I went to fight. They have people associated with Mike Pandoff and some foreign and domestic police forms associated with Town Line Drive, messing with my food, messing with attaching me and my family members to fake locations, fake relationships with other people. He recorded, confessed, demonstrated. These people with Justice Department clicks, agencies, their family members, judges, their family members, prosecutors, their family members, interstates, intermilitary, foreign and domestic, maintained effectively originally and still criminally foreign influenced. Delusions, wrought. Now, these are people with all natures of crime methods, wire crime methods, mail crime methods, preventing me free speech since I was a kid, all facilitated to it through one house in my area, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated victim predators used by a whole bunch of federal criminals associated with former director of the FBI and his co-defendant federal criminals proven associated in other cases slash S tied to him as his co-defendants in a 2006 case. Also, crimes against me and others, federal crimes leading up to and in that case for crimes against my family. WFSB also attached me and my family to fake ties to other fake locations and with fake news crime acts, preventing us free speech. After they already did that, they did that again. On the record, with in other words, with their sources, with WFSB recorded, confessed, involved with database crimes, drug crime clicks since before they were with the court standing. John Mayon and other people, a whole bunch of people associated with the Dillon family, and his per people in my speech class, and per him, his partner, he has a family down the street that are associated with and as his detectives, family members. Now, these are people associated foreign and domestic through time. A whole bunch of people on and off Two Right Highway, on and off Hangdog Lane that I barely know, who sought me out to make confessions about this because they've been attached. They attached me to fake locations, implied fake, and knowing people that I don't even know. People I knew just, all like Rick Champfillon. I barely know him. Then he made all these confessions, and it was tied to people that, see, when I was in grammar school, there were two O'Brien brothers. They were involved with interbranch offensive racketeering with various natures of courts, prisons, campuses, the CCSU through time involved with people associated with them. Principals retired and standing involved further federal criminals, federal crime acts, further crime acts illusions note using databases and further exploiting it on and off campus, intercampuses with those federal crimes. They're with grammar schools spreading lies with overt criminal enterprises, interbranch family members with the cliques that have recorded federal crimes facilitated to the roles, facilitated to them speaking through others when they were putting like Christine Bedard, I don't know her new name, I believe Christine Tardat, and a whole bunch of women with New Britain Superior Court, from judges, women, victims advocates and stuff like that, roles with federal criminals with kids. Since I was a kid, they prevent people to speak this way. They put fake things in databases. A whole bunch of people associated with a Chris Walters, with a Mike Kerr, Jerry Kerr, his father Jerry Kerr, two Mendez police. Inside, Janito Mendez attached me to a fake conversation. His crimes inside, off, on, off the Wethersfield Police Department, on, off with his brother, on, off New Britain Superior Court with falsified police reports, identity theft crime acts, other natures of federal crimes, sequence shifts. And they did this through time. They have federal crime acts rolls with drug crimes. I recorded and handed into my speech class because also that I knew it was connected to the libel aggressions tied to the overt criminal enterprises in the police forms in my area. Now, see, I now I understand it's recorded and confessed, tied to the former director of the FBI, other agencies, and their family members involved all kinds of six natures and crime acts with delusions, criminal uses of Facebook, and with other nations like Russia. They are in here using such against our own because these are methods of and natures of identity theft missed because they're made self-valued by our identities of legal nature, and through that self-value, then maintain criminally foreign influence acts, natures, and uses of them. So we need free speech. They are recording, preventing free speech, preventing. In other words, and what do you do if you're a crime group with a whole bunch of different styles that know that you're involved with this, and you have all interbranch actors who are coercing you, influencing you to hide their criminal foreign influences themselves. You pretend to be against such, like Van Jones is doing with his convictions tied to his roles preventing mandated law, preventing recorded judges involved with and prison cliques involved with child sex offender leaders of the campuses, criminal uses of the departments, of the standing fact sheet nature of each of the departments of each of the campuses. See, now we have to address this way because if you call it, the UConn's recorded and confessed involved various nature of courts criminally involved with them, pretending to be against what they're for in other contexts. So then they have to pretend to be against it. Like they're supposed to follow the law. When someone tries to report crime acts, recorded especially, sexually abuses of kids, medical abuses of kids, judicial abuses of kids, all tied to them, recorded in a pathology, methodically, sustained ways. They pretend not to do it. They pretend people don't have jobs because of this. They use DACA. They use shared policing of the stores, shared policing of campuses, from off campuses maintained on off campuses like CCSU. Whole bunch of names stacked. They stack the federal crime acts rolls. All victim predators. Only let realize be predator reactions because that's the only way you can understand where everyone talks as liars, pretending they're truth tellers. Lies tell truths. And see, when you use what is true always, not denying exceptions, which is logic's actual course, you're hurt. We have all kinds of pseudo positive relying upon fake integrity of mental stewards who have none, and worse. Boxing is fun. So we have fire departments also how maintain criminally foreign influence. Everyone speaks through others. Then you have the sensibilities of people, what they can't fathom. Then they, follow mandated law. We have election crime acts rolls. Now they can't deal with this nature of they're stacking. Just not just mandated law crimes. It's extortion at this level. This is extortion against me and others from people who are tied to proven Trade Center crime acts rolls with cliques as the investigators involved with them from my town. I'll gather around. American history's course starts here. right before the last battle of the Revolutionary War. Where did George Washington had to come to counter extort? What still had to leave with overt slavery? He had to leave it with overt slavery because no one had free speech. Everyone had to defend positive, way short of real positive that's not criminal insidiousness nature. So it was all criminal insidiousness natures, wrong, mass wrongdoing natures, valuing mass predicate act natures, valuing the real causes of negative value nature progressions, acts, and natures blamed on other things others themselves because of time treatment, it's always too fast, too slow. Quality fact treatment nature prevented to each spot. Worse, methodically. This is a breaching organized crime method that is human fact treatment nature racketeering. This is what American history is about. So, Van Jones, please explain to your network that your sources are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with federal crimes with CCSU with many names, and that they stack that name stacking, pretending not to realize. This is tied to how the victim predators. This is tied to the organized crime method, which forces a response. Because I'm only trying to report crime acts. They need to pretend we're other. They need to pretend it's about motive, thing like that. I just need to report those acts because those acts show that they've been using crimes, they've been using cases and databases criminally against me and everyone, attaching me and little kids through time to fake locations, fake relationships to others. And they should look out for the other people. There's a a penguin place or something like that. I forgot the name of it. Downtown Hartford. There are places with downtown Hartford that this Mike Pandolf confessed and recorded tied to this person who was involved with the identity theft with the police forms on and off stop and shops, on and off town line drive businesses, and people associated with the family members of senators even all levels of political people, former Mayor Gold, especially regarding the further people involved with child sex offenders with campuses. Now, if they made that up, it's tied to their sex crime acts with him before they made that up with Facebook policing. Interbranch uses of New Britain Superior Court recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involve uses of their Facebook page for Facebook for rape threats in conjunction with them using the courts for federal crime racketeering and torture and identity thefts and harassment and sequence shifts. And then after that, pretended I harassed someone who was then proven a principal child offender. Recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with more worse tied to his school then and now. It's how we have women judges involved with this. We have a whole bunch of women with the police recorded, confessed, and demonstrated you involved with racketeering with my campuses, with the databases when I was a kid. Their class placement, like the woman with this Christine Tardet, Christine Bedard, whole bunch of people, federal crime acts rolled with not just with child criminals, but with a witness protection. I mean, witness protection program too, and tied to the street. Same ones tied to her criminally, and directly and indirectly. And in other words, her whole court, whole bunch of names. Whole bunch of names and people that use me through other people making fake recorded things into their databases to Mendez police. Crime acts in collusion with the child offenders inside, outside of New Britain Superior Court. The judge is pretending things as theater because that's how they need to hide the line progressions from their roles with the people, with the court, with the Joshua Julian, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated federal crimes with overt criminal enterprises, pretended emotions, pretended sick aggressions on little kids through people that are pretending they need peace. They're preventing me free speech. They're warning me and threatening me and torturing me not to have countered the people sexually abusing little kids and ones I know. The WFSB is recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involving their cameras in their federal crimes with a whole bunch of drug clicks and people associated with Rhode Island and on off the state of Connecticut judicial branch officers criminally. Men and women police forms associated Navy, foreign and domestic criminally involved. Shared policing, Asian and other associated a whole bunch of locations on off WFSB and Rocky Hill. Other their roles with the West Farms Mall, the shared policing of the stores used criminally to pretend to perceive things offensively because they're involved with preventing mandated law. They're involved since before our nation's founding with preventing free speech, with preventing sequence truth, with preventing science, and while criminally through criminal foreign influence maintained effectively maintained motivated to pretend other is science and and positive treatments. We have criminal uses of the opinion natures, international natures of even medicine and even medical. I'm not even a doctor. This is recorded because there are federal crimes and delusions recorded, criminal uses of that recorded. See, we have care for jobs without, because these are value treatments. And then we have science, which real science is about value, is all values connect and demonstration of the nature of volume that identity is. This is an identity theft that put color in there because it is an identity theft that maintains all roles. So they needed what really is involving all styles of liars with that, pretending all pseudo positive treatments of criminal serious natures of positive needed self value. We don't have a nation that is free, but through contrast to what has been worse than forsaken since semi-ancient times. Everyone blaming out other things other than self. We don't have a nation free until Native American rights are free and pure. Their means, and that is with gasoline now and engines. That's Native American. You punks. You must understand. You are pseudo-educated. You're all brainwashed. The species coach will hear you here and now. Follow mandated course. Law must allow. Fake branches fall below the wall. It's here. It's time. It's now. Who disbelieves? The Wethersfield police chief knows this is true. Former director of the F.B.I. down too. He knows. His lawyer knows. We're coming for you now. Fake news. Do not stay entrenched with your criminally foreign influence databases sources. Give them up. Forgiveness was for this. The truth reveals. I'll show you really what now ails. You have doctors thinking for you who are criminally foreign influence and delusions wrought. Crime methods recorded, not just crime acts. And they're actually recorded natures. See, criminal insidiousness. It is not personal. The branches are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated pertaining to these persons that because they're sequence shifts and because there needs to hide, they're actually recorded natures now. Fake branches ball and fall, already fall. YouTube.com/user/Romulus Wall. It's Anthony Wall's YouTube channel. It's me. Y'all must see. When we get to the phone, we get to instant revolution, fruits and gifts. Why hide and lie and plot? They took me from Facebook. The same people involved crimes are Russians. They're still pretending to be against it. That's recorded. Federal crimes, crime methods are Russians. Even uses of the news. Fake conversation made. Federal crimes with a group/s, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated crime acts roles leading up to in the Trade Center context from CT, also leading up to and in its roles with Washington, D.C., and with the plane pilots and police forms, former director of F.B.I. down, other agencies and their family members gather around. I've caught you cold. Begin, behold. CNN, please fix your fake news. You have a whole bunch of people from my town recorded, confessed, and demonstrated, facilitated the crimes with your quote unquote intelligence community. Sources from CCSU. It's not personal. If you don't want to stay criminally involved, then fix the fake news and follow mandated law and get them from my identity. And to pick one name in sequence too, because various natures of courts and their family members, judges and their family members, retired and standing, a whole bunch of people associated with the courts and their pleas, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated leading up to the Trade Center attack in the context and since it with predicate acts rules, a whole bunch of wrongdoing rules. I am not even a lawyer. I will show you their ill souls. Follow mandated law. We'll examine how they have the witness protection program used by and the sensibilities of the FBI, like this here, like this, people associated with him, per recorded proofs on Twitter and other ways recorded. That's why I'm saying even way, regardless of who it is on Twitter. They use online policing. They use the sensibilities of the online platforms and relationship to place these policing handed to them by intercampuses already maintain roles with an organized crime ethic since before our founders' birth. Off the ground of education, on off in layers, maintain fitted roles with the identity of the ground's value ties to our quality of fact-achieving nature, effectively breaching organized crime method, maintain self-valued, Trinity's correlation nature worse than obfuscated, fake middles, fake delusions, worse than self-valued, sequence shifts, a whole bunch of identity theft, racket natures, roles, justifications, fake positive natures, victim predators, so here, not these means here. Campus Marcy's college. It only feels like game. We play to see who disbelieves. Interbranch, have them pick one name in sequence. There's the crime method of pretending to be against obstruction. They came through legal campuses. Oh, this is an example of, so that would be extraction. They are recorded, criminally exploiting acceptation nature and exceptions. And exception nature. No, again, criminal insidious nature. Offensively pretending not to realize they are criminal insidiousness nature. They are reliant upon the perfect world, forsaken every day with streams and courts that rules. Your sickest souls, your righteous itch, your sciences, your campus is in between them still. Rage and fill. The volume only lifts in gifts or lives. Leaf of ideas. Leaf of ideas is forced space nature transfer. Let no one other tell you else. Be Romulus this way together. Wake. Now wake the sun dissolves. This way, their gifts. Complete. Who disbelieves? Pick one name in sequence, then compete. Connecticut Interbranch forges names and switches names to prevent justice. They are those crime rules as the ones pretending to be against obstruction of justice because they are fact-achieving nature racket rules, sequence shifting. Check fact-achieving natures, harassing people and then blaming them harassment for trying to report it, attaching them to fake recorded things, sequence shifts, worse than identity theft rules, torture, and free speech preemption, election crimes with Wakefield town offices, on and off the middle school further, on and off the The private school next to it further. On off the medicines, dry cleaning further. Intercities, interstates involved. More child offenders. More crime acts, federal crime rules with the racketeering of WFSB. You will all be charged for that. You will not follow mandated law. I beg you to follow mandated law. Who disbelieves they must be charged tells lies. They have delusions. You watch how sick they've been. Actually recorded. So those spots downtown, I'll gather around. There's real sick tied to them. Credit uses of all the spots at the end of the Bowling Turnpike. That construction place next to the Stop and Shop there in Hartford, Wethersfield. The one over here in Rock Hill was 500. Revive! On off the Wethersfield Police Department. On off the state judicial branch offices. These are the ones, Lord, Dillon family, a whole bunch of people associated with interstates, Rhode Island, New York, child offenders, Washington, D.C., interstates, California, Connecticut, CCSU, Trinity College, the quad. Who speaks of the quad? Attend. Campus Marcius calls you home again. Your campus line. All right. All right. Don't be cowards here. Respond to mandated law. I've asked you nice. It's time. I just remind, they're sustaining a crime methods bonded on the kids. With the campuses and with their speech, federal crimes will avoid criminal enterprises, uses of the Witness Protection Program, and the same house/s tied to uses of the overt criminal enterprises on the forensics locations and clicks through time. Criminally, a whole bunch of people on Park Street with this Daryl Sullivan. You here attend. Foreign domestic intermarriage. You fear. Get down from there. I'll gather round. Now here.